What's up, guys? Crypto Muser here with your daily news and analysis in the crypto markets. So this morning, guys, obviously, Russia invades Ukraine, and what happens? The fear takes over the markets, and they absolutely tumble on themselves. Bitcoin got down to about, I think the low was about 34,600. I saw XRP down at about 62 cents for a bit there. Stock markets and equities were down huge this morning. Commodities actually were up. Gold and silver were up pretty big this morning. Oil went through the roof. Oil, I think, was at $108 a gallon, which is not a great sign for gas prices in this country. I think where I'm from, gas prices are about $4.40 a gallon. It looks like that will start to continue to grow or go up. Not a good sign, obviously, but I do think that the Fed will use this geopolitical issue as an excuse not to raise interest rates. I think that you'll see in the next couple of days to a week that the Fed will come out and say, due to Ukraine-Russia scare or whatever, they're going to say that the QE, or whatever you want to call it, the money printing, quantitative easing, liquidity injections, whatever name they want to give it, I think they will continue on for at least the next couple months or so, and they will probably postpone the rate hikes until at least June or July. I just don't think they can afford the markets crashing. I mean, just the scare of them raising interest rates has caused the market to crash so much in the last 3.5 months. I mean, just think, the idea of raising interest rates caused these markets to go down the way they have. So, I mean, if they actually did raise the interest rates, I think that they would tumble even more. And I don't think they can afford that. I don't think the country can afford that. So I think the Fed are basically backed into a corner at this point. And if they continue on with the QE and the liquidity injections, the inflation will keep rising, obviously. But if they raise interest rates, that means the stock market will tumble and crash even more. So what do you do, right? There's no win scenario here, but I think what they do is they basically keep postponing the rate hikes. I mean, and now they have an excuse at least, right? Before they really didn't have much of an excuse, but now they can blame, the Russia-Ukraine scare tactic, whatever you want to call it, and say that's the reason why they will delay this rate hike. I have some news for you guys today about the XRP versus Ripple case. I also have some news about Elon Musk now bringing a case against the SEC, which is pretty big. But before I do, I just want to say if you guys could please hit the like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. That would be very much appreciated. And if you do like the content, hit the bell for notification. But let's get right into it. I have XRP Crypto Wolf here talking about Elon Musk. So Elon Musk is ramping up a fight with the SEC, saying that he's been building a case against the agency, and he didn't start the fight, but he will finish it. And he also says, best news ever for Ripple and the XRP army. I agree with that. I agree that this is a huge thing for the XRP community and actually the crypto community as a whole, because if you think about it, Elon is one of the richest people in the world, right? He's got enough money to hire the best lawyers out there. And if he is bringing this case against the SEC, he definitely has some evidence with his case. So honestly, I think the SEC is probably shaking in the boots at this point, because if you think about it also, the SEC already has, their resources are ran pretty thin at this point. They're at the Ripple case. There's about, I think, 4 or 5 other crypto cases they are involved in. They have a bunch of Wall Street cases they're involved in. There's no way, the SEC isn't that big of an agency, right? They don't have that much money to fight all these battles in crypto, and now to fight one of the biggest companies in the world and one of the richest people in the world, as Elon Musk is. Good luck to the SEC with this one, right? And also, Elon wouldn't come with this case unless he had the evidence. He's not an idiot. Honestly, he's a genius. He knows what he's doing. And let's just get into a couple of tweets that I saw. And these are very telling tweets that just tell you how serious Elon is in all this. This was some random person tweeted out, what if Elon Musk and Tesla have been baiting the SEC for years, building their case on the level of corruption, and now they have the evidence to go public with it all. Grab your popcorn, folks. I mean, that's me right there, basically. I am ready to see what he's got. And then Elon Musk replies, building a case is exactly what I've been doing. And then someone even said, starting a fight with the SEC is not a great look. And he said, I didn't start it, but I will finish it. I mean, those are fighting words, guys. I mean, we know that Elon never had any respect for the SEC. He said it in an interview, I think back in 2018, that he had no respect for the SEC. And then we saw recently that, with that settlement with the SEC back in 2018, where he gave, I think it was $40 million. Then we found out that $40 million that was supposed to go to investors, the SEC actually kept that money. I mean, you can't make this shit up. I mean, the SEC, us at the XRP community have been calling out the SEC for their BS since day one. We had, attorneys like John Deaton and Jeremy Hogan and, influencers like Digital Asset Investor calling out this corruption from day one. And it's been running rampant in this agency for years now. And the fact that we've been called, conspiracy theorists and we're just a bunch of idiots on Twitter, and it's just they never took us seriously, right? But now we have Elon Musk, which is a huge name, obviously, and now he's going to call out the SEC, and he's obviously, like I said, I think he has some evidence here, or else he wouldn't have brought the case. So, I mean, like I said, I'm this guy right here. I want to see what's going to happen here. I got my popcorn ready. I can't wait to see what Elon has. I think in the coming weeks we're going to find this out. So, if you're in the crypto community, XRP community, whatever it is, I think you are looking forward to this also, because the SEC is on this crusade against crypto, and now we have Elon Musk on our side, so I guess we'll see what happens. But also have another thing about the SEC versus Ripple case. So yesterday I came on here and said that the SEC basically was trying to use an argument in the case. So they're trying to use another case against Library as evidence in their case against Ripple, right? Well, those cases were totally different, and even attorneys were saying there's no way they can use this evidence. The judge is going to deny this, and there's no doubt about it. And lo and behold, last night we got a deny from the judge. And I'll tell you what, man, or ladies and gentlemen, this judge ain't messing around. There was no explanation or anything. It was just a one-word text saying denied, right? So I must say, I'm really liking Judge Torres here. So there's been two judges involved in this case from day one. The first judge was Judge Netburn. She was basically the one that resided over the discovery phase of this case. And now, since we're basically at the end of discovery, and now we're going to the judgment part of this case, Judge Torres is taking over. And it seemed like Judge Netburn was more lenient with the SEC. Was giving them extensions in the case. Was kind of whatever the SEC needed. She was being very accommodating to the SEC. But Judge Torres, right off the bat, I mean, one word, denied. I mean, you gotta love it, right? It was basically like, go F yourself, SEC. You're not using this argument. So very good to see. I'm looking forward to seeing what Judge Torres, with his fair notice defense and the Bill Hinman emails and all this stuff. I'm looking forward to see how she approaches all this. Next, we had the Library case. This is another cryptocurrency that the SEC is going after. Yesterday in my video, I said that this case was settled, which I thought it was, but I guess the SEC has basically been using the same tactic against Library, is when they've been extending and delaying this case for months now, I guess. So I thought it was settled, and I guess I misspoke yesterday and said it was settled, but I guess this case is still going on with Library too. And there's just this delay tactic that the SEC keeps using in their cases, where it's like they know they don't have the facts of the law behind them, and they just use this delay tactic to cost these companies money, so they ask for a settlement. So it's like the SEC is basically like, we'll just keep delaying this case and cause you guys, attorney fees, and your business will lose money while you're in this case with us. And this is the only power the SEC has at this point, right? Like, how corrupt can you be when you're just basically trying to make these companies lose money, or you're hurting investors as you're doing this too? But I saw this Library put this tweet out, and I thought this is very interesting because, just wait till you hear it, I guess. The SEC just said in a verbal argument in this case that they are not asserting that Bitcoin or Ethereum is not a security. They're saying that the Hinman speech is his personal opinion. Guys, we've been going over in this Ripple case that, the SEC first said that the Hinman speech was his personal opinion, and then later on, when they don't want to give out the emails and the drafts of the speech, that now it's not his personal opinion, it's the opinion of the Division of Corporate Finance. Well, now they're in the Library case saying that they're back to the speech is now his personal opinion again. Like, do they really think they can get away with this stuff? Like, it just irks me so much that this agency at the SEC, They make arguments on a case-to-case basis, and they're never telling the truth. Like, it can't be both. It can't be his personal opinion and the opinion of the Division of Corporate Finance, the division that he ran, Bill Heyman ran at the SEC. So which one is it, right? If you're going to say in the Ripple case that it's the opinion of the Division of Corporate Finance, but then in the library case that it's his own personal opinion, how can you get away with this, right? And this is why we need, hopefully Elon brings it to the SEC and shows their corruption. And we need Congress to finally step in and do something, because these guys need to be held accountable. I mean, it's basically like a government agency going rogue at this point, hurting investors, just doing whatever they can to make themselves look good. This is exactly what we don't need in this country, right? And it irks me so much because I'm an XRP investor. I did my research, extensive research into XRP 4.5 years ago when I got invested. And, I saw this bull run happen, and I saw Ethereum go, I saw Bitcoin go. And, XRP was the third biggest cryptocurrency back then when I bought it. And the only reason why it didn't go with Ethereum and Bitcoin is because of this lawsuit, right? So the only reason why I lost money, or XRP investors lost money, is because of a government agency sworn to protect investors. How ass backwards is that, right? So I couldn't be more pissed off at this point. And the fact that the SEC is lying through their teeth at each, in each case in this, man, it just irks me so much, man. That's why we need Congress to step in and do something. We need this executive order to come out, and something needs to happen where this agency needs to be, put in check. It needs to stop, right? So I just want to end this video. I have a interview that Digital Asset Investor had with John Deaton. It's the second part of the interview. If you guys want to watch the whole thing, go on Digital Asset Investor's channel. But the second part here I thought was very interesting, and it's it's almost 9-minute video. And I'm just going to play it out to end the video here because I just think it's very important. Everybody should see this. But just remember, I'm just going to end the video at the end here. So I'm just going to just remember, please like and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And just remember, I am not a financial advisor. Please do not take anything I write or say as financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. And we'll see you on the next one, guys. But just definitely watch this video. And we'll see you on the next video, guys. See ya. Whoops.
And then we got more evidence. This is overwhelming evidence. It's overwhelming. We get to, now that was 2018. We get to 2019. Coinbase, the most conservative of exchanges, with their sophisticated securities lawyers, goes to the SEC and they say, we have run XRP through our framework. The framework that Valerie, the czar at the SEC, complimented Coinbase about publicly. We've run it through our system, and XRP is not a security. We're going to list it unless you tell us otherwise. They leave that meeting and they list XRP in February 2019. If it was so clear that XRP was security, Coinbase wouldn't have listed it. Okay? Coinbase wouldn't have listed it. And then we go further. That was January of 2019. Now we get to June of 2019. And what does Ripple do? Ripple actually files a document with the SEC that they're going to purchase 9% of MoneyGram. In the document, in the filing, it talks about XRP. It talks about how XRP is going to be utilized with MoneyGram in cross-border remittances. If it was so clear that XRP was a security, why would you allow that to go forward? They know, the SEC knows that Ripple is going to pay or transfer XRP to MoneyGram. Did the SEC believe that MoneyGram was a hodler of XRP, or are they a money business? And they were then going to sell that XRP on exchanges to you, DAI, and to me. Right. And if it was so clear that XRP was a security, would the SEC allow retail investors to get this unregistered security? Of course not. And then we get even further. Now we're in 2020, the year of the lawsuit. And we got to look at what did market participants think, right? Well, we've got that Baylord Inc. filing in January 1st of 2020, where they say to the SEC, look, we know that there's uncertainty with the digital asset space, But we want you, SEC, to rest assured that Baylor will not sell or trade potentially unregistered securities. We're going to only trade the 3 cryptocurrencies that is generally accepted by the financial world, including the SEC, to be non-securities: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. That was in January. That was 11 months before the lawsuit. And then finally, DAI, we got another piece of evidence. We have the email from an XRP holder literally within 60 days of the SEC filing the lawsuit that says, hey, is XRP a security? And what does the SEC say, DAI? We have not made a determination that XRP is a security. That was less than 2 months before the filing of the lawsuit. So when you take all that evidence and you take it together, there is no way, it is impossible for the SEC to meet its burden to prove that Brad Garlinghouse or Chris Larson had actual knowledge and belief that XRP was a security, or that they were so reckless because it was so obvious to the world that XRP was a security. If it's not obvious to your own SEC enforcement lawyers who are experts in what is or isn't a security, how could it be obvious to these 2 executives?
Well, after hearing you go through all that, the conclusion that I come to, because, we've accused the SEC of a lot of things, but I've never accused any of them of being stupid. And the only conclusion that, I'm no attorney, but the only conclusion anybody with an ounce of common sense can come to here is that this lawsuit, all of these lawsuits, were filed knowing that they couldn't win. And if that's the case, you got to ask what their motivations are.
Well, listen, you saw that recent interview, or at least clips of it, of that Joseph Hall guy, right? That from the SEC that Tony at Thinking Crypto did. Well, even though he was a moron and dismissive of saying, oh, it's a conspiracy theory, even the SEC's own loyal people, said he was perplexed why the SEC brought this lawsuit. Everybody think about that. Why? Why did they bring the lawsuit? You can't prove this. You allowed this asset to be traded for almost 8 years. Okay, you allowed all the things that we went through in this interview with UDI, all of those things. Why would you file the lawsuit? Why would you go after the executives in a non-fraud case? If you go back and look at all securities enforcement actions, when you sue the executives is when you believe they've committed fraud. Yes. Why would you file it against them when you know you can't? If you know you can't win, then maybe you're not trying to win. Maybe the filing of the lawsuit itself was the goal. Maybe that was the end. Maybe that was everything, right? File the case against them. Think about this. Joseph Grunfest, who is very, very loyal to the SEC, he believes in it as an institution. He said, in the history of the SEC, there had never been an exodus of so many leaders in the SEC leaving after filing such a significant lawsuit. He called it a mass exodus. Think about it. Clayton left. Hinman left. Mark Berger, the director of enforcement, who helped write this complaint, left. The director of trading and markets left. All of these people left. As they're walking out the door, they slapped the most significant SEC enforcement action in modern history because they didn't have to prove it. So if they don't have to prove it, are they willing to file a ridiculous lawsuit that can't be proven? Sure. Wow. If the lawsuit is the weapon.
Well, John, I mean, the thing for me when I hear this is that tells me that this is just a matter of time at this point. If it's a matter of time, that makes me very bullish on Ripple on my Ripple equity and my XRP.
Listen, I've said this before, and and this should be known. Even Charlie Gasparino and Ellie basically said in their opus, they said John Deaton's no fanboy of Ripple. I've always been focused on the XRP holders, and I've never been a defender. I don't have anything against Ripple, of course, but let's talk about that for a second, just 1 second, for people who want to be worried or concerned about the lawsuit and its impact. Can you imagine what I said earlier? Can you imagine being investigated for 2.5 years, going through every sale that was ever made, going through every advertisement that was ever issued, and after 2.5 years of an exhaustive investigation, they don't find one single instance of fraud, misrepresentation, or omission? That's got to give people some confidence. I wouldn't go on a limb and predict that this case against the two executives gets dismissed if I wasn't 100% sure. So, I can't say, go out and buy Ripple. That's not my job. But I can tell you, there's a lot of cryptocurrency platforms that would not survive a 30-month investigation.
Very interesting, right? Just want to end the video, guys, there. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.